So, students, I'm sure you must have studied about the medieval history, the Mughal period in your previous class in class 7th. Today, we are going to talk about how, in the 18th century, brought about the decline of the Mughal Empire. And this decline of the Mughal Empire, it paved way for the coming of Britishers in India. And then we will go on to talk about how Britishers came and established their control here through trade and then expanding over the territories, having political control, and how they went on to rule over us. So, first, we need to understand what were the factors, what were the causes that brought about the decline of Mughal Empire in India. So, let us see what are the causes of decline of the Mughal Empire. The first cause which brought about the decline of the Mughal rule in India was rivalries among nobles. Now, first of all, who were nobles? Nobles were important officials in the court of the king. Whosoever was the king, the Mughal ruler, he in his court would have appointed certain nobles, important officials who would take important decisions, who would advise the king, and who hold a very powerful position in the court. Now, these nobles they belonged to various different ethnic groups. They were nobles that were Turanis, that were Iranis, Afghans who came from Afghan, Iranis coming from Iran. They were Hindustanis. They were, Indian Muslims as well, who were a part of the nobles. They who held the nobility a very important official position. So we see when they belonged to such diverse backgrounds, there was always a struggle of power between them. Each one of them wanted to assert their authority. So there was jealousy and rivalry, enmity between them, these nobles who belonged to different ethnic groups. There was always a fight or tussle happening among them only, which went on to affect the administration of the empire. So, one of the reasons that made the Mughal Empire weak was the rivalries or the enmity between the different groups in the nobility. That is, the nobles belonging to different ethnic groups, they were fighting amongst themselves. Their rivalries, their enmity, the jealousy among them is one of the factors which weakened and eventually brought about the decline of the Mughal Empire in India. Another major factor that brought about the decline of Mughal Empire was Jagirdari crisis. Now, what is this Jagirdari system? So we see that the Jagir means land. Okay, so Jagir is the term which was used for lands at that time. So whenever there was an important official who was appointed by the king and who worked for the king, these important officials they were given salaries in the form of these Jagirs. That is to say, if there is an important official, he would be allotted a large part of land that this now belongs to you. Whatever revenue will be collected from that land will go to that important official as a salary. So we see all the important officials, nobles, and all, they were paid salaries in the form of lands. The lands were allotted to them, these Jagirs were allotted to them. Whatever revenue they will collect from them, that is going to be their salaries. And at that point of time, land held a very important value. And these were very fertile lands. They would generate a lot of revenue. Whatever crops are grown, when sold, they would generate a large amount of, wealth. So it was very, important to have large amount of land. It had a large amount of value attached to it. So we see that at that time, the Mughal officers or the officials, they were paid in the form of Jagir, which is land. Whatever revenue will be collected, that would belong to the officials. This was mainly the Jagirdari system. The Mughal officers, they were granted or say given Jagirs, that is lands, in return for their services. Whatever work was allotted to them, whatever was their job as a, same for maintaining law and order, or there was an officer to collect revenues, or, whatever was the task of that particular officer for providing that service, he was paid in return in the form of Jagirs, that is land. Now, what happened with increase in grants, there was shortage of Jagirs and revenue, and eventually Mughal power declined. Now, obviously, land is limited. If there is a ruler, now his kingdom will have a defined, boundary. So there'll be definite amount of land there. Okay, this is these many acres of land belongs to this particular ruler of this kingdom. Now he is going to distribute the land from there itself. When eventually years after years the ruler's son would come, his son would come. So there'll be new recruitment being made, new officials will come, they will be given new lands as jagirs. So eventually they will come shortage of land because land is fixed, but officers will go on to increase. Okay, now there is a new official appointed, now there is another official appointed, he will be given new jagir. So eventually will come a time when the land will fall short of. So eventually came a time when the number of these grants being made increased drastically with the rulers appointing new officers, but this land became short. So this shortage of lands, or this shortage of jagirs, brought about shortage in revenue generation, and this is one of the reasons that the Mughal power declined. More and more land went into the hands of the officers, and eventually the king was left behind with very small amount of land under his direct control. And students, one important thing is that, with increase in grants being made to these jagirdars, these officers now being given large amounts of jagirs, there came a time when there was so much shortage of land happening, no new land was available to be granted to these officers. Crown land began to be given, converted into jagir land. What is crown land? That belongs to the crown, to the ruler, the royal family. So, in a kingdom, a large amount of land was, already allotted, already belonged only exclusively to the king and the royal family. Whatever revenue would come from there, that would be the source of their separate personal income. So, eventually there came a time where there was so much shortage of land that this crown land, the land that exclusively belonged to the king, now Jagirs, payment in the form of Jagirs began to be done from that land itself. So now the land that exclusively belonged to the king itself was being given as granted as Jagirs. So there was shortage in the land. The amount of land under the direct control of the ruler also began to, it also saw a shortage. So obviously now with the decline of the amount of land under the control of the king brought a decline in his power. Now he did not have as much amount of land under his control, so that meant he did not get as much amount of revenue from that land. So the king is losing his power, he's losing access to wealth and revenue, and he's granting to other officers. So now more power is being given to these officers and his personal power is decreasing. The king is becoming more dependent on the officers, on these nobles, jagirdars. So this way we see that the power of the ruler also goes on to decline. So about Jagirdari classes, you have to know what is this Jagirdari system. The Mughal officers, they were granted Jagirs, that is land. Why? For in return for their services. What happened with the more increase in grants being made to these Mughal officers? There was shortage of Jagirs, and so this brought about the decline of the Mughal power. So this is how Jagirdari system brought about the decline. Now talking about Mansabdari system. Now first of all, this Mansabdari system was introduced by Akbar. Before him the system did not existed. It is Akbar who introduced this Mansabdari system. Now what is this Mansabdari system? Mansab means a rank. Mansabdar is a person holding a rank. And this was this Mansabdari system. Now why a rank is being given to a person? So Akbar came up with this system where ranks were given to people. A person who is considered to be very powerful, very trustworthy, very capable, he was given a very high rank. High rank meant that this person is very important official. So as per to the rank you were allotted, from higher to lower ranks, your rank would determine how many number of soldiers and horses that person has to maintain. So if there is a person who has a very high rank, he has to maintain a large number of soldiers and a large number of horses. A person with smaller rank will have to maintain lesser number of horses and lesser number of soldiers. So their rank determined that how many exact number of soldiers they had to maintain and how many exact number of horses they had to maintain. So why were they supposed to maintain this? So that whenever there is attack by any other region, or whenever the ruler wanted to attack any other kingdom, he will then call upon these mansabdars that you come here, join me with your soldiers and army, and we are going to fight, or we are going to defend our kingdom. So that is how the Akbar decided to maintain army instead of king himself directly maintaining the soldiers and the army and the horses. He appointed these mansabdars. They will be the rank holders and they will be paid for that, and they will maintain these soldiers and the horses. So this was this mansabdari system. It was a non-hereditary system. That is to say, it does not mean, okay, if this person has been made a high ranking mansabdar, so his son will also go on to acquire that rank. No. Only when the king felt, okay, this person is trustworthy, he is capable, he holds the merit, he is very important, only then he will give him the high rank. So that is what a kind of system Akbar built based on merit. If you are capable, if you are trustworthy, I will give you a very high rank. And these high rank, the one who held very important high mansabs, they were paid huge amount of salary in the form of, again, jagirs, that is land. How were they paid? They would be allotted large piece of land. Whatever revenue will come from that will go to that mansabdar, and that revenue will be used, that money will be used by that mansabdar to maintain the soldier, to give the salary to the soldier, and to maintain the horses, and to meet his own personal expenses. So you can imagine such large amount of land was given to him, so that he can, out of that money, he can do all such things. So we see that this mansabdari system, it was a non-hereditary system. It was based on merit. It was not based on that if you are a son of this rank holder, you will go on to acquire this rank. No, it was only based on merit. Mansab is a rank, and mansabdars were rank holders who provided this military service. Now we see that contingent troops of mixed nobles like Mughals, Pathans, Rajputs were formed to help in administration. So this system of having mansabdars, these mansabdars, they were not only Muslims who were appointed as mansabdars. No, Akbar always gave importance to merit. One who is capable should acquire the high rank. So he went on to include even Rajputs in that, even Mughals, Pathans, people of different ethnic grounds. They were also given high ranking nobles. Even Raja Man Singh was given a very high rank. He was given one of the highest rank mansabdar he was made, despite the fact that he was a Rajput and Akbar was a Mughal. Even then, so it did not matter to which ethnic ground you belonged, what religion you followed, but if you are capable enough, you were given a high rank. So we see that there were mixed nobles belonging to different ethnicity, Mughals, Pathans, or Rajputs, and their main task was to help the king in administration and to provide this military service. Now, these mansabdars, they earned from the revenues from jagirs. They were paid in the form of these jagirs. Land was given to them, and whatever revenue they will collect from that, that was their salary. And they would maintain troops and meet their personal expenses from these revenue that they collected. Now, what happened? This system was very well introduced and maintained by Akbar. It went on, it was continued by Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and everyone. It was continued, but what happened eventually, the later Mughal rulers, they could not maintain this system efficiently. So later on, this inefficiency and the inability to maintain this system brought about its breakdown. Now, why they were unable to maintain, what happened eventually when more mansabs were introduced? Again, there was shortage of jagirs. The rulers did not have enough land to pay these mansabs as a form of salaries. So that became one factor, they could no more pay them. So how to maintain this system? So inability to maintain this system led to its breakdown. We basically see that the inability to maintain this efficient system of one mansabdari system became one of the causes for weakening the Mughal Empire and bringing about its eventual decline.